All right, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about two new clients that I got this week, whose names will be, I won't share them with you, but it kind of reminds me how important it is to send these messages out to you guys. First, rarely is doing nothing the best choice. Both of these individuals, one in his teens and one in his early 60s, were told that they were not going to be able to do blank because of their injury. The older individual had an issue with, initially, it was an issue with, he thinks is an issue with his hip. He had bursitis in the hip. And I said, okay, well, what'd you do in physical therapy? And they said, well, I've gone to doctors. I got a physical therapist. The doctor said, hey, we got to operate. The physical therapist did a little massage. And I said, did you do any therapeutic exercise or range of motion? And he said, no, absolutely not. And so it comes with a point of frustration that I feel that a lot of individuals are not getting the treatment that they need. And somehow along the lines, it started off as sort of a physical therapy major, and I'm drawing upon this more than I ever have before. And what it comes down to is very, very simple. You need some good, healthy range of motion and good, healthy mobility and good, healthy muscular function to work. Let me give you a clue. If you have a hip problem, this individual came in, his groin, his inner thigh was just super, super tight. Remember, that's a compensation. I've talked about these things in my videos before and on my posts. His groin was so tight he could not even let his leg out on a butterfly stretch. What was happening? Well, these muscles here in the groin were binding down to compensate for this hip. This hip was so unhappy. He's like, you know what? We're gonna block everything down and we're not gonna move. And so what ends up happening is that the groin was overcompensating for the motion. Now, as a point of interest, all of these issues started when he had a ruptured Achilles, same side. So guess what? It wasn't rehabbed right. He started ambulating or walking wrong, and all of a sudden the hip starts to create problems. He can bike just fine, but he's uncomfortable after seated positions, and he's uncomfortable in daily life, and he's unable to function correctly. And so the secret is to work a little bit on loosening up muscles, nice and easy, rehabilitating the strength, nice and easy. Now, pain management is always critical. I never want to send people off their charts. So if you're doing therapeutic exercises, all of these, you don't have to come see me for them. You can refer to them yourself. You can see any number of therapeutic modalities and therapeutic exercises to rehab an area. Okay, so you can find those easy, Google it, and then ease into those motions. Now, what does that mean? Well, when I work with physical therapy, depending on what someone's pain threshold is going to decide how far I push them, right? So 1, sitting on the couch. 10, maximum intensity, the hardest you've ever worked. When someone's in acute trauma, okay, I got to get them out of acute trauma first. We gotta ice. We gotta take that inflammation. But after the injury is set in and we have a stagnant, a joint that's not getting better, I start to try to coerce them, like, okay, let's push a 3 or a 4. And usually around that 3 or a 4, we start to make improvements in range of motion and function, okay? So this individual, one session, walked out of here better than he got here. The other individual, late teens, football injury, had an issue in his back. Again, they said you'd never be active again. One session, light physical therapy, light mobility, giving people an understanding of this is time to push. Meaning you have to endure a little discomfort with your physical therapy and regaining strength. We live in a time where a lot of times doctors and physical therapists might not want, oh, you have pain. I'm sorry to say we do have to embrace a little discomfort to regain that range of motion. But if you're getting better, that's the critical component. If you do something and you're set back, it's not time to push through, okay? So the moral of the story today is, if you got an injury, first set up a consult with me, I can help you with that. Or refer to a physical therapy site, Google it, and start working a little bit towards those motions. Don't hide away from it. Rarely is doing nothing the best choice. Nice job, guys. Let's go get it.